Hi, I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Zach.
And we're traveling A to Z.
This week we're exploring the granite Staircase-Escalante in Utah.
We're heading to Calf Creek Falls. We're currently in Calf Creek campground, and you're supposed to walk till the end of the campground, and then that's where the trailhead is. The Lower Creek Falls campground is pretty nice. It's about $15 if you want to stay the night. It has portable water and flushable toilets, which is kind of nice, and it's right at basically the start of the trail. So it's a nice little spot to camp, and there's trees and water and little creeks around.
We're gonna go hiking to Calf Creek Falls. This is the trailhead. It's at the end of the campground and it looks pretty well marked. So we're gonna follow it and see what happens.
It's supposed to be approximately a 6-mile hike round trip. When you start the hike at the trailhead, they have these little brochures. There's little numbers along the trail, so you could look at what it says. So the first one was just basically saying how this creek starts a couple of miles up the road and it flows all year round. This trail's pretty exposed. You definitely have a lot of areas that once the sun is up, it's gonna be hot. But then you have these nice little areas with trees and shade. There's just not a lot of them. So enjoy them while you can.
This whole trail is pretty sandy, and then you go through this kind of stuff, and then through the rocks.
So this is cool. You have all this snake grass everywhere as you're walking through. Pretty neat. Oh, I see the waterfall. It's way in the distance.
Found it.
We made it to Lower Creek Falls. This falls is 126 feet tall. It's really cool. It goes from the canyon all the way down right into the sand, which is pretty neat. It's hard to believe that this is in the desert. It's a big waterfall. You can see Zach in the distance and he looks so small. This is pretty impressive. You can see him waving. Ooh, it's cold! I'm pretty sure if you want it, you can go swimming in it. but it's cold. So this is a cool hike. It took us 3 miles to get here. It was all in sand, so it's definitely, it feels a lot longer. But we went really early in the morning. We have the whole place to ourselves. It's really cool. We just finished the hike to Calf Creek Falls. It's a round trip, about 6 miles. You have to trudge through the sand, so it gets a little tiring, but definitely worth it. The hike is awesome. The waterfall is amazing. Definitely recommend it. So we are at the Toadstool Trailhead and we are gonna go check it out. It's supposed to be 1.8 miles round trip. This hike starts right off of the Highway 89 and you just pull right off the road and then you start hiking. So pretty nice, and if you don't have a 4x4 car, then this is an easy hike for you to do. Trail. The colors of the mountains are awesome. It's like lots of different layers. You can see the green with, I think, like copper, and I think the iron in it. We made it to the Toadstools. I wonder how they got their name. It's so crazy, the little tiny neck on that, like, toadstool. Like, I'd be afraid it would break. It's pretty amazing that wind and water can form that, and that it could still be standing. We just finished the Toadstool hike. It was about a 1.5 mile round trip. Nice little hike. It was kind of cool to see. Nice little stop if you're driving on the 89 and want to go see something and have a little hike. It does have some up and downs, but not bad at all. Our next stop is to hike Lick Wash.
This is a pretty neat place. I mean, we've got canyon walls all the way around us, and I guess it turns into slot canyon, but it's impressive. It's hard to believe that we're only about 30 miles from Kanab, which is down in the desert floor. This is like Sierras looking stuff. This is awesome.
So right now we are in the Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument. This national monument is the largest national monument in the United States. It's approximately 2 million acres. That's a really large national monument. So far we've just been hiking and it's pretty neat. It's right outside of Kanab, the southern entrance to the national monument, and yeah, we've been checking it out. We're hiking Lick Wash Trail, and it's supposed to be about an 8 mile round trip hike. I'm I'm not sure though, because I've been looking online. It looks like some people walked a lot farther and did like 11 miles. One of the maps or the little things from the BLM shop basically said that there was going to be a canyon that is too small to get through, so you turn around there. I don't know, we'll have to check it out. Right now we're taking a break. We're about, I don't know, a mile and a half into the hike, and so far it's been really, really beautiful. Definitely recommend the hike, even if you just go in for like a mile, just because it's really neat to see the Navajo sandstone with all the ponderosa pines and oaks, and it's just really neat. Different, very different than anything we've seen so far. This tree is like growing into the rock. Its roots, look at that. You can see it. You could hike along Lick Wash river bed basically for miles. We hiked a couple miles in. If we could do it again, I would recommend just hiking a mile in, and a mile in's about at this big tree that goes across the trail. That's where you get the really good views, you get the slot canyon at the beginning, and you get the cool like sandstone cliffs on each side. But after that, it's kind of just the same thing, and you're walking along this wash the whole time. So we're heading to Valley Gorge to go walk along the gorge. It looks really cool. Here's the view from the top. So far down. What do you think, babe?
That's pretty deep.
So this hike starts right along the gorge, and they say at about 0.4 miles there should be a drop-off where you could get down into the gorge. So there's the bottom. There's a really narrow path that we're walking on, and yeah, the cliff side is like right next to you. Don't mess up, don't fall in. Right about 0.4 miles, it just kind of like ends. It's crazy. You could probably keep walking along the river, or you could get into the slot canyon right here. Cool. A little canyon. And we're in. Look, basically, what, 6 foot tall at the end of the canyon. Now let's go see.
So there's a little step you have to jump over. And then you just kind of head down the canyon. That looks like a drop-off.
That is a big drop-off. Oh man. Okay, I could do this. This is probably a 12-foot drop, maybe? What do you think?
I'd say like 8. Go ahead, come on down.
Okay, 8-foot drop. Okay. Whew. Okay, I got this.
Big step down.
Yeah! That is more than an 8-foot drop.
No, it's not. That's 8 foot right there. I can reach.
Okay, whatever. Okay. I hope there's no more of those, though. Because otherwise, I don't know. That one caused me to sweat a little bit. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this. It just keeps getting higher and higher just as we walk. And the best thing is it's not like we're going way downhill. We're staying pretty flat. It's just the cliffs are getting taller, which is cool.
It's a little bit of a drop. It's probably 5 feet or so. Come on down. You got this. That's a little slippery if you put your foot right there. That's a little bit. This is how we do it.
Okay.
There you go. You good?
Got it.
And we're down.
So pretty. How cool is this?
This is pretty cool. We're about 25, 30 feet down right now. Up there, that's about 25 or 30 feet.
And it's just getting deeper and deeper.
Definitely got to do the Bull Creek Trail.
Pretty short, because you do like 0.4 miles, then you get into the
Yeah,
canyon,
it's
and then you
short.
go back.
It's fantastic. You got to do it.
Definitely have to crawl over stuff and go down cliffs.
Yeah, you got to be physically fit for this. I mean, yeah, there's no way around it because you got stuff like this. I mean, it's only like a waist-high jump, but you know.
Look at this wall, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you don't want to be here in a rainstorm.
That's so cool.
Wow, this is neat.
So I'm not a fan of heights. I am getting better. I am getting much better. Actually, no, I'm not a fan of falling. Every single time we get to these things, he's like, I think you could do it, I think you could do it. And then there's another like 10-foot cliff coming.
I think you can do this. It's
See.
like a ladder. I can't quite do it with no hands, but pretty close. Yeah, I can use hands.
Really?
I'm gonna help. I'm helping right now.
I don't need help.
Yeah, you do. She made it.
So we got about a 10th, almost 0.2 miles in, and then it got to a point that there was a good drop, and I was not comfortable with it. Even though we've been doing like 5 or 6 drops, but it was to the point I'm like, and I'm done. So you could just go tell your comfort level. This is cool though. If you could go in and do some, I recommend it, but you definitely have climbing. You definitely have drops. And like he said, you have to be agile.
Bull Gorge, you hike along the top edge, and then you drop down into the gorge, and you hike down the gorge. It's awesome. Definitely do it.
So today we're gonna hike in Escalante Petrified Forest. We're gonna go do the nature trail, which is supposed to be 1.8 miles or so, and it's supposed to have gorgeous views, and you're supposed to be able to see all the petrified wood. So at the start of the trail, they also give you a nature's guide, and they have little markings, and they explain everything that's in this park. So we're searching for number 1. Behind me is the view of the reservoir. So this is called balanced rock. So wind, frost, and rain have removed material around the bottom of this. This is lichen. I guess there's 16,000 different types of lichen around. And basically lichen is algae and fungus together. The algae protects the fungus, and the fungus lives off the algae, so it's like a symbiotic relationship. And they say it's the first living thing on dry earth. So it's kind of cool, and they're all over the desert. In the distance behind me, they call this the pygmy forest. And all the trees are really small. And most of these are over 600 years old. So we're almost at the top of the hill, and this flat area up here has a whole bunch of little tiny juniper bushes everywhere. Distance, you can see the town of Escalante, population about 800. It's pretty small. Basically a Mormon town that was formed in the 1800s. The root word of Escalante means to escalate upward. It's because all the plateaus around here in the mountains have steps. Oh, look at the sunrise. You can see right here beside me the fossilized wood. So this park is approximately 1,400 acres, and there's over 5 1/4 million tons of fossilized wood that is found throughout the park. So this is just a little section of it right here. Sleeping Rainbow Trail. So the Trail of the Sleeping Rainbow is another optional little loop to add on to the nature trail. It's supposed to be 0.75 miles, and it's supposed to have the most amount of petrified wood on this trail scattered throughout it. The trail gets a little steep.
Yeah, I'm actually standing on petrified wood right now. The trail goes right over the top of it.
It is literally everywhere. I am sitting on petrified wood right now. How cool. This region, over 150 million years ago, used to be at the equator, and that's why we're finding all these different trees and petrified wood. And because of continental drift, now we're basically in the desert.
Look at that big old piece of wood.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's as heavy as a rock.
This is the end of the Rainbow Loop before you start going back up. It's a nice little view of some cliffs, and we got it right for sunrise. So you can see all the rings in this one. So all these little black rocks I'm standing on are from a cinder cone volcano that ruptured about 50 million years ago. That's a little north of us, and it covered the whole area. And so, yeah, you could see some remnants of it.
Apparently, after climbing to the top of the hill, that is the most recognizable wood in the park.
Because of its colors and layers.
It looks like a tree, like a brown tree with bark and stuff. Yeah, totally.
So we just finished the Petrified Forest Loop and the Sleeping Rainbow Loop. We did it together. It ended up being 2.3 miles and a total of 496 feet elevation gain. So not too bad. It was a nice little walk and had the nature brochure, so it tells you what all the little spots are and the numbers, so make sure you grab that. It's cute. This state park is nice, but if you really want to see petrified wood, I recommend Petrified Forest National Park in Arizona. I think that's by far much better. But this is a great little stop with a little path and trail. And this has a great little camp area. It has hot showers, little convenience store, running water and bathrooms, and lots of little trees to set up a tent. So it's a really nice place if you're going by Escalante to stop, to take a nap for the night, and then go for a little hike in the morning. Hiking to the sand caves. The sand caves are right off of 89. We are about 5 miles north on the 89 from Kanab. And these sand caves, you can see them right from the actual road. It's pretty cool. So when I researched, it's better to start all the way to the left, come all the way across. And they did have a semi little trail there. That was pretty good. There is some scrambling over rocks. Not too bad though. And the sandstone actually has quite a bit of traction when you're walking, so you don't slip inside too much. It's actually pretty cool. And it's only supposed to be like, I don't know, a half a mile round trip, so it's not like a big hike, but it's supposed to be pretty neat, and there's supposed to be some caves that you could wander around. And they used to use these caves to mine sand, which is kind of funny because we're walking on sand. I don't know why they got it up in the hill instead of down by the ground.
I guess this is where the good sand is up here.
It is pretty like soft and smooth. Look at that. It's like a beach almost. The other one's a little more red. Huh?
Yeah, it's
oh wow.
it's sand.
Oh, crazy, huh? It literally comes right off the wall.
Yeah.
And they just dug tunnels through this cave getting the sand. Wow, look at that. You can see the 89 right there, which is the main road. Is that the end? It's dark. We're gonna get a flashlight out and see what we can find. So behind us, it's really dark. We got our flashlight out. It ends right there, so you don't actually need a flashlight, and there's nothing really that way. So this is pretty cool, the cave. Not bad. We have it all to ourselves, which is really nice. We're gonna now head down and go to our next cave, the Belly of the Dragon. We are hiking the Belly of the Dragon hike. It's outside of Kanab, probably about 18 miles outside of the town. This is pretty cool. This is a old drainage tunnel that goes underneath the 89 that allows water to go from one side of the highway to the other and goes into the North Fork. And you can see all the way through. The light at the end of the tunnel. Once you get through the Belly of the Dragon, you could keep hiking apparently for another, I don't know, 2 to 4 miles. There's supposed to be a slot canyon. So there's a little scramble to get into the Belly of the Dragon, but not bad. You can see it right here, which I'm gonna try to attempt to get back up and not fall on my face.
I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the places to visit in the Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument. Join us for our next adventure as we go to Cedar Breaks National Monument. Please subscribe below to follow more of our adventures.